boys and girls. It's Miss Lisa, the art teacher. Welcome back to my table of art. Well, this week is your first week of the summer session, and the theme for this week is the beach and the ocean. So what we're going to do in honor of the beach and the ocean, we're going to create a project that shows our ocean with a couple of underwater sea creatures and our sky. And this is going to be a combination of our warm and cool colors. Do you know which ones are our warm colors? Well, if you guessed the orange, red, and yellow, you're absolutely right. And the bottom are all our cool colors. So we're going to need a few things to start our project. You're going to need 2 paper plates, which I'm going to be sending home to you so you don't have to worry whether you have them or not. You're going to need your crayons because we're going to do that crayon resist technique. You know, where you color with the crayon and then we paint over it with our watercolors, and the watercolor resist wherever you put the waxy crayon. So of course, you're going to need your watercolors and a brush to paint with and a fresh cup of water. I'm not sending home a fresh cup of water, so I hope you have that. And you know what else I'm going to send home with you? I'm going to send you a template. The template is something you trace, and it's going to have a palm tree. You're going to have the option of having a dolphin jumping in the sunset, or you could create a boat. Looks like a little sailboat. This is going to be 2 layers of the sun, and this is going to be a jellyfish and Mr. Crab. You can put them in your scene just like I did. Here's my jellyfish, Mr. Crab, palm tree. I used the boat for this one, and our sun in the background. You can use the dolphin jumping in the sunset or a boat sailing in the sunset, whichever you choose. Okay, so how about we get started with our project? Sounds good? I'm excited. How about you? Okay, boys and girls, how about we get started now? We're going to start with the 2 paper plates. One of the paper plates is going to be used as the background of our seascape. You see the orange, yellow, and red? That is going to be the whole background of the seascape. You see it's a solid plate. It's not cut. The other plate we are going to cut in half. We're going to create a curvy line to show the illusion of the waves in an ocean. We're going to cut it in half, and when it's cut in half, it'll become the bottom of our seascape. The other half of that paper plate we're going to use to create the sun, either a boat or a dolphin, and the palm tree, or maybe our crab or jellyfish. So let's put this aside for now. And we're going to put the extra plate aside for now. And we're going to start with the background of our seascape, which is going to be all of our warm colors. Now, our warm colors consist of our red, our orange, and our yellow color. So when you see a beautiful sunset and the sky is all illuminated with these beautiful colors, remember that these are the warm colors. And sometimes you see a little bit of pinks and purples mixed in, and that would be a violet red color. And we're going to keep that in our pile of colors because this is one on the border of being a warm or cool color. It's mixed with the purple, creating a violet, and it's mixed with the red. So it's borderline warm and cool, but for this purpose today, it's a warm color. And the same thing with our yellow-orange, another combination of 2 primary colors, another warm color. So these are the colors I've chosen for us to use. You can choose only the primaries, red, orange, and yellow. That's up to you. So what we want to do is we want to imagine that sunset and the direction the clouds go. They usually are side to side. They don't go up and down. They go horizontally with the horizon. Sometimes they're curvy lines and sometimes they're straight lines. So I'm going to take my crayons, and I'm going to draw a combination of some curvy lines and some straight lines, because sometimes it appears that the clouds that are creating this beautiful sunset are straight across or a little curved. So I want you to do the same. Mix your colors, mix your lines, create a beautiful sunset, but you're not coloring it in. We're only creating our lines. And combine your straight lines with your curvy lines, as I'm doing, and do it to the entire plate, even though we are only using half of the background. We still want to cover the whole plate. Almost done here. And if you want to go back and add some more colors, go ahead. More lines, I mean, go right ahead. Fill in spots that you think it needs it. All right. All right, so now what I have here are my warm colors created with using crayons. But I'm now going to paint over it to fill in the whole sky with warm colors as well. And this is that crayon resist technique that we've done in the past, where the watercolor brushes over the waxy crayon and the wax resists the water. So the wax of the crayon will shine through with its vibrant colors. So we're going to need our watercolors now. So let's get them out, and your paintbrush and your cup of water. I'll leave this down here. I'm sorry. All right, so we want to start with one of our warm colors. Now the water wakes up our colors. So I'm going to start with my yellow. See how nice and wet I'm making that? And filling my brush, and I'm going to brush along my paper plate, randomly painting my yellow. And I'm going to wake up my orange watercolor, and I'm going to randomly paint over that. You want to make sure you get the paint and not just water. And if you see it building up, just brush it away. We don't want that to happen. We want it to cover the plate, but not puddle in areas. And then we have to wake up our red, and we'll put that on our paper plate as well. Do you see how the crayon is shining through? That's our wax crayon resist. Don't be afraid to mix your colors. Okay, you could always clean them if you don't like it with the water. Look how pretty, I love it. I love these colors together, they're so beautiful. I could go into that purple mixed with some red, but I really want to show the difference between our warm colors and our cool colors with this project. But you do see beautiful purple in some of these sunsets. See, less water, and the colors are a little bit more vibrant. Look at that, how pretty. Oh, just love it. Love these colors together. How are you doing? How are your colors being mixed? Can you see them popping through the crayons as you brush over them lightly with your watercolors? Looks beautiful, doesn't it? I love it. So of course now we need to let this dry. Cover all the areas, any white areas. Looks pretty good. I think it's ready to be put aside to dry. What do you think? That's some gorgeous sunset. So let's put that aside. We'll put our watercolors aside for now, and we'll pull out the second plate. Now with this plate, we want to make a curvy line going straight down the middle, because that's going to be the illusion of our waves. The blue ocean waves are nice and curvy. So you can take your pencil and you could draw a line straight across, if that will help you. Try to stay right in the middle, or you can do it without drawing a pencil line and just cut curvy lines. But I suggest that you do use the pencil so you can see what you're doing. And don't worry about being perfect. You just want to make sure they're coming out a little curvy. Okay? There we go. Now I have 2 halves, which are creating my ocean waves. So even though this plate is wet, when I put this on top, it's going to look like I have waves going up and down, up and down. So now, if I used my primary red, yellow, and orange to create my sunset, what color lines do you think I need in the ocean to create the waves of the ocean? Well, if you said blue, purple, and or green, you're 100% right. These are our cool colors, blue, purple, and green. And they are going to create the waves in our ocean and the seaweed at the bottom of our ocean. So let's start with our waves, and let's just make some curvy lines going across the paper plate, the same direction as our horizon. From left to right, back and forth. Now, if you want to make some seaweed coming up from the bottom, you can make curvy lines coming up from the bottom in a vertical position. Do you remember what vertical positioning is? That was top to bottom, and not side to side like the horizon. Top to bottom are our vertical lines. See our seaweed? You can attach the curvy lines, make them a little wider. Add some purple down at the bottom, straight across the seaweed. Some more blue waves down here. Okay, now let's start painting our ocean, and we're going to use our blue, green, and purple watercolors because you do see those colors in the ocean, don't you? Sometimes the water is so beautifully blue, turquoisey blue, and then sometimes the light hits it and it has a green tint to it. So I'm going to blend my colors of my ocean. I think I might put some green down at the bottom, and I might add some purple right in the middle. And it's so pretty, these colors together, aren't they? Do you like them? I do. So don't be afraid to mix your colors, blend them all, the blue and green together, create a beautiful turquoisey color. So let's get our ocean painted in so we can let that dry. Oh, look at that dark purple. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. I love it, love it, love it. And don't forget your green. And remember how it looks when you mix the green with the blue? That beautiful turquoise, like a tropical island. Love those waters. So clean, so beautiful. See our seaweeds popping through with the crayon resist technique. Get some more blue down at the bottom of our ocean. Don't want it just to be green. Okay. All right, so you think this is ready? We can let this go dry. That's beautiful. So pretty. All right, let's put that aside. I don't need this right now. I'm going to put this away. And let's bring out our templates. Now my template is going to have the coconut tree, a dolphin. This is going to be the back of the sun, and this is going to be the top of the sun. This is a jellyfish. This is a crab. This is the top of a boat, and this is the bottom of the boat. Now, keeping that in mind, why do you have 2 parts of a sun? What's going to happen is we're going to outline these in crayon, and then we're going to paint them with the watercolor. And when we put them into the seascape, we're going to layer them. This will be the bottom, but it won't be on the flat surface of the plate. it's going to be raised by a little piece of cardboard that I'm going to give to you. You'll only need a little piece to glue on the back of the cardboard so that it's raised from the bottom of the plate. Do you see how this sun is raised? And then this next layer is raised again. So you're going to do that using the pieces of cardboard, which I will pack for you. So let's start coloring our templates. Oh, we can't color these yet. We have to trace them. I'm sorry. What I did is I packed a piece of cardstock for you. This is a thicker, firmer piece of paper. This is just a piece of copy paper. It's very thin and flimsy. And we want our boat or our dolphin or our sun to be firm and stick out. So we needed a denser cardstock, a heavier piece of paper. And that's what I'm giving you. So we need to trace onto the cardstock. Now for this one, I used the boat. So for the demonstration, we're going to use the dolphin. Now how do we trace a dolphin onto the cardstock? Remember what we do. Get your pencil and then just trace along the line that you see. Trace, trace, trace. Get every line on my dolphin. Get every line, okay? Every piece, trace over every dark line you see. This little tag that sticks down is the piece that we're going to glue the dolphin on with. All right, so I traced around the entire dolphin. Now let's go to our heavy cardstock. Turn the dolphin upside down. Try to go in the furthest corner so we don't waste any of the paper. Lay our pencil on its side and rub over the lines that you could see through to the other side. You could see where we traced, so you know where to rub over. And what's going to happen? We are going to transfer the image of the dolphin from the template onto the cardstock. You see that? So now you have your dolphin. What color would you like to color your dolphin? How about we give him, I have this beautiful blue-green crayon, and I'm going to outline this dolphin in this beautiful blue-green crayon. Don't forget his little nose and his fins. I'll even do the little tag that is going to be glued on. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of crayon to here because I'm using watercolor to color him in, but I wanted to put some of it with crayon. All right, so I have my dolphin. What else are we going to use on the template for our seascape? We're going to use our sun. So let's trace around the sun, both of them. We're going to use this one, and we're also going to use this one. All right, so we want to trace over the entire black line. Okay, don't worry about being perfect because it's a sun and a sun's rays aren't always the same every time. They're not perfect. Now we're going to turn it upside down, place it somewhere where we don't waste any of the cardstock. Put your pencil on its side and rub on the outline on the opposite side so we can transfer this onto the cardstock. Remember, the cardstock is a thicker paper that'll stand up to the watercolor and it'll work better for our project. Here's one part of the sun. Now here's the other part of the sun. Let's make sure I'm not on top of the other part. Just rub over it so it transfers onto the cardstock. There you go. Okay, so now we have a faint outline of the top of the sun and the bottom of the sun. So the bottom's going to be the hottest part of the sun. So I want to choose my red crayon to draw over the hottest part of the sun. So let me just find my red crayon, not my violet red, and I'm going to outline that with my crayon, and then I'll paint over it with the watercolor. But I like the crayon being the outline. And then we're going to try to cut that out with the scissor later. So we'll add a little bit of crayon blend in here, just a little bit. This is your creative decision. This whole section is going to be covered. So I just want a little bit of crayon resist here. And the top I'm going to make yellow. There we go. And the rest will be painted with watercolor. So we have a dolphin for our seascape. 2 parts to the sun for the seascape. How about that palm tree? Want to put the palm tree in? All right then. Let's get our palm tree template. And we have to trace everything on the palm tree template so we could transfer it to the cardstock. So this takes time, so you know, don't rush. This is time to relax and enjoy and create and set ourselves free. Here we go, in thought, and fill our spirit with happiness. Okay, so I traced the entire palm tree, and now I'm going to transfer it onto the cardstock. Lay my pencil down sideways so I can go over the traced palm tree on the other side. So this will transfer the pencil image onto the cardstock. There you go. So what color would you like your palm tree to be? How about we make the palm tree the green leaves? Again, don't worry about being perfect. Just outline it with your crayon. Be happy, be free. I'm outlining the traced palm tree. I'm not going to color it in. I'm going to wait with the watercolor. I have 2 coconuts, and they're usually brown. And so is, I think, the stem of my palm tree. Brown. Okay? Alrighty. Let's see. Do we want to put the crab and do we want to put the jellyfish in the water? Yeah, of course we do. So let's trace them as well and transfer them onto our cardstock. Here's my jellyfish. Now, jellyfish could be any color. Some of them are invisible. Some of them are pink and purple. They're all colors, so it doesn't matter what color you choose for your jellyfish. And I'm also going to outline our crab. Crabby crab. There's a crabby crab. Actually, he's smiling, so I'd say he's a happy crab. Nice big happy face, his big eyes, his claws. And then they always have their 6 legs. Okay, now let's transfer that onto our cardstock. Jellyfish first, pencil on its side, so we could rub the back of the paper, transferring our images onto the cardstock. Check, there it looks good. And last we have our little crabby crab. Crabster, come on, Mr. Crabster. All right, so now notice I'm not using the boat because I used the boat for this one. I want to put a dolphin in the one I'm working with as demonstration. All right, crabby crab. I'm going to make my crabby crab. Believe it or not, I'm going to make him purple because there's this really beautiful purple shore crab in California. And he's purple and violet, so I want to make this guy the purple shore crab from California. What do you think of that? 4, 5, 6 legs. And I'm going to add his mouth later because I'm going to use a marker to make his eyes and his mouth. So I have to wait for the watercolor to dry. And here's my jellyfish. I'm using pink crayon to make all the lines. And I'm also using a purple crayon. All right. Okay, now it's time to color them with our watercolors. So grab your watercolors and paint all your little items that you're putting in your ocean. I'm going to make my dolphin blue. And look how nice it looks with the crayon that I had, the darker crayon. That looks good. Then I'm going to go into my sun. I've got the bright yellow sun, which is going to be on the top. And there might even be some yellow on the bottom. There's definitely going to be some orange and red on the bottom. So blend your colors. Don't be afraid to blend. And this is all going to be cut out, remember? We're going to cut this all out. Then we're going to go on to my palm tree. Yeah, I know Miss Lisa's being very sloppy, but that's okay. Once I cut it out, it'll be a lot neater, right? And the tree is brown. And the pineapples are brown. Or, I'm sorry, coconuts are brown. Make this a little bit brown. Oh, and those beautiful jellyfish. I'm going to add my red because I don't have a pink watercolor paint. And then purple for the crab. Honestly, there's purple crabs in California. It's called the purple shore crab. Perfect, right? How's that look? Fantastico. All right, so we don't need the watercolors anymore. So let's stop and put them away. Put your cups away so you don't spill water on our projects. And we have to give this time to dry before we cut them out. I took a swig of water. So in the meantime, put this on the side. We're going to grab our background and our foreground. Do you notice those two words I used? Background and foreground. And this is in the front, closest to the viewer, and the sky is in the back, away from the viewer. So that's foreground and background. The ocean is in the foreground. So, next thing we need to do is we need to glue them together. Now make sure when you glue them together, you have your clouds in the horizontal position, not straight up and down, because that would be a crazy sky. You want them in the horizontal position, as well as your ocean waves in the horizontal position. And you're only going to need to glue the edge of your ocean, because that's the part that's going to stick to the paper plate with the sunset on it. So let me get my glue out. And we want to put a thin line, not too much, because we don't want to have to wait forever for it to dry. And we're going to put a glue line right on the edge. Important that it's only on the edge, because this is the only part we want to stick to the top plate. If you want to smear it so it's not so thick and takes forever to dry, you could do that with your fingertip, like Mrs. Lisa's doing. Then we turn it upside down, and we attach it to the bottom plate. Line it up with the edge of the other plate and press down where the edges meet. Make sure you see that there's a pocket in between. You see your pocket? Here's my pocket, and let the plates dry. Okay, everybody's lined up perfectly and everybody's glued together. This looks great. Great. Okay, now this needs to dry. We don't want to mess with that until it's dry. So we're going to put that aside. And while that's drying, we can start cutting out all the items that are going to be in our seascape. Okay? So we're going to need our scissors now. So the one item we're going to start with, I'm going to start with the back of the sunset. So we're going to need this part of our sun. So I'm going to get my scissor. And I'm going to cut it away from the big piece so it'll be easier for me to maneuver when it's time to cut this out. Let me just stick the bottom. Check your plate, make sure that they're not separating like mine just was, and push them down so they're stuck together, okay? All right, so now I'm going to cut this back of the sun out. See how I'm cutting in? Now, see I made a mistake? Don't worry about it. Just keep cutting. So let me cut all the pieces out, and I'll come right back, okay? And you do the same, but make sure they're dry. Okay, boys and girls, I've cut all my pieces out for my seascape. And while I was doing it, I realized that cutting out the crab and the jellyfish might be a little difficult for some of you. So I went ahead and gave you another option. When you transfer the images, transfer them right onto the paper plate and color them in with your crayons instead of cutting out the crab and the octopus, and just color them in with the crayons and they'll resist the watercolor. So that's another option for you instead of cutting them out. So let me put that aside. So now our paper plates have dried and they've created the pocket in the middle, and we're ready to put everything together. So we're going to start with our sunset. The first part of the sunset is the back end. And being it's a sunset, we might want to set it down a little lower. What do you think of that? And our dolphin, we're going to put probably on this area. We're trying to figure out what we're doing. I kind of like this placement. Or maybe we'll put the sunset a little to the right and the dolphin in the middle. And our palm tree maybe over here. You know, notice the palm tree. This is adding another section to our seascape. We have our backdrop, which is our background. We have our ocean, which is the foreground. And now we have this palm tree as kind of the middle ground. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's start with the sunset because that's the furthest back. So we've decided maybe up here. Does that look good, guys? Do you like that? Yeah, I think I like that. What do you think? You want to keep it in that area? I like that. This way we see everything. All right, so the first part of the sun, we're not laying flat on the plate. We're going to give it some depth. And when we do that, I'm going to glue this piece of cardboard to the background so I can lift the sun. I'm using my glue stick because that dries a little faster. And I'm putting glue on the top, and here comes the sun. This is the back of the sun, the back part of the sun. Now I need another little piece of cardboard. Let me let that sit. So take your cardboard and cut it. Cut little squares. Because this one's going to go on top of the back part of it. Because the sun is going to be in 2 layers that are raised from the background, giving it depth to our image. Doesn't that look cool? So it looks like the sun is popping out. Now my dolphin, we're going to stick him to the back of the ocean plate. So the glue is going to be going on this part. I just want to decide where I really want to put them. Let me put my palm tree in first so I can figure this out. I think I want the palm tree right about here. And you know what? I could glue it right to the edge of this plate. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick a little bit of glue right there. I'm going to stick the palm tree where I like him and glue the one branch to the edge of the plate. So look what happens. It's popping out here, but it's flush with the edge of the plate because the plate bows up. So that looks like it's popping. This looks really great. Now we're going to stick our dolphin in. Do we want him jumping over here? Do we want him jumping over here? Where should we put our dolphin? I kind of like him over here, even though there's a lot going on over here. So I'm only going to put glue on this part of him, this little flap. I'm going to stick it underneath this wave and try to hold that together. My finger is holding that together. And now, there it is, because it's the glue stick. It sticks right away. That looks great, doesn't it? So now all we have to do is put our jellyfish in. Uh-oh, where's Mr. Crab? Oh, here he is. And our crab into our ocean to make this complete. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm really happy with this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thrilled. Now, I'm putting the jellyfish in, and he's kind of curving up a little bit. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm only going to glue a little piece of him on. So the other piece sticks out. You see that? My finger's underneath it. Let it do that. We don't have to glue it all the way down. And look at my crab's claw. It's sticking up. Leave it like that. This makes it all the more interesting. Very cool. Loving it. See how my finger goes under his claw, but he's glued to the plate? This gives this whole plate dimension. An illusion of dimension. I want to take my black marker. This way I could just pop 2 eyes on here for the crab. 2 little dots. Look at that. How easy was that? Love, love, love this. Boys and girls, what do you think? How do you like your seascape? How gorgeous did that come out? I'm really proud of it. I don't know about you, but I'm loving it. Okay, boys and girls, that's it for this week. Our art project for the theme Beach Week. Here's our seascape for Beach Week. And now that we're done, guess what I'm going to do? I'm heading to the beach. So this is Miss Lisa saying, ciao for now. See you at the beach. Bye-bye.